Any more questions from the audience? Carolyn, you'll be next up.
Yeah. Hi, I wanted to get back to the TOT tax for a second. We have received some of the opinions on this, but I'd like for everybody up here to weigh in on it. If you were on the council, would you approve a decision to let us vote on a competitive TOT tax? I was reviewing that issue today, and I was looking again. Gardena is 11%, Hawthorne is 12%, Redondo Beach 12%, Santa Monica 14%. We're having these new hotel projects in here. We're looking at economic development in ways that fit our city. It's a great place for us to get revenue, and I'm not wild about raising taxes, but this is something that won't harm our community. Even if we just raise it 1%, we'll be getting enormous amounts of extra income. So I wanted to get everybody else's opinion on that. Thank you.
Thanks. Carolyn?
I'm not an advocate of doing that. I believe in competitive positioning. I think that if we are lower, we are more attractive for a high-end hotel to come here. And if we want hotels because we want to bring more daytime business to our town, then you do whatever you can to be competitive. So really, if Santa Monica's higher, great, fine, stay higher. We stay lower, get people to come and locate here. So I'm just not an advocate of it. In addition to that, because I was listening to them discussing this, if somebody's going to pay more money in the form of a tax, it doesn't just come out of nowhere. They will then spend less money in our town. So to think that if you raise taxes, it's just free money, philosophically, I don't agree with that.
Thanks, Carolyn. Haney?
Just a couple of days ago, I was up in San Jose to handle a court hearing, and I had to get them the night before. And I did not look and see what the hotel tax is in San Jose before I went up there. It just didn't dawn on me. I just looked up the rate of the hotel and picked up the hotel that works for me, but the hotel tax just wasn't an issue. I didn't think about it. So I want you to think about the last time you went on a business trip or a vacation. How much thinking did you think about what the hotel tax in the city you're going to before you made the decision? And if your answer is similar to mine, I think that the short answer is if we increase the TOT taxes, we get revenue. I don't think we're going to lose any tourists. I don't think we're going to lose developments. I don't think people that are coming here and want to build a hotel on the Strand or Raju's project are going to decide they're not going to build a hotel because our TOT tax goes up from 9% to 12%. I think Santa Monica at 14%, San Francisco at 14%. I don't know what the number would be, but definitely if Gardena's at 11 and Hawthorne at 12, there's absolutely no reason why Hermosa should be at 9%.
Thanks, Haney. Greg?
Just for those that may not know what this is, and here in the audience and at home, the TOT tax that we're talking about is a transient occupancy tax. It's charged by room, by night at a hotel. And it basically pays, the intent behind the tax is to pay for the impacts of those folks visiting our community. They come and use our facilities. They come and may even need police and fire, and some of those gentlemen are here in the room, and thank you for being here. If they use our services, whether it's a slip and fall on the beach or a drowning as they're swimming, I mean, there's serious things that those people that come to the community end up using of our city services. It's basically so that they pay their fair share. So it's an equitable fee to be charged. And again, I'm not sitting here as a person that's going to say, I'm going to raise that tax. I'm sitting here saying, I'm going to give you, the residents, the information to make the decision yourself. I would vote to say, yes, let the community make the decision on whether or not it affects their values or whether it affects the tourist levels at the hotels. But it's your call, not mine, but I vote to give it to you.
Thanks, Greg. Nanette?
Yeah, I'm all for allowing our voters to decide this issue. This is a tax not on our residents, I think is an important point that needs to be made. It's not on our residents. This is a tax that would be on people who are booking hotels, tourists, out-of-towners. This is something that I think our residents should have the option to vote upon.
Thanks, Nanette. John?
Well, I'm all for allowing everyone to vote on the issue, and again, like the other issues, I'd want to make sure that you have all the information you need to make that decision. One of the things that you need to think about is how many taxes, fees, We've got the highest parking meter rates anywhere around here. We've got the highest parking tickets anywhere around here. We've got some of the highest business license fees around here. And we just keep adding these on, and we say, oh, well, that won't hurt. That's just another 1%. Oh, another $5 here. That won't help. That won't hurt anybody. You folks need to go downtown and start talking to some of the business owners in town and ask them what their experience is. Ask them how many of those fees are starting to pile on to the point that they can barely stay alive anymore. Now, I've listened to a number of travel shows that dealt with TOTs all around the world, and it's becoming an issue because it is. First of all, TOT taxes are sweet because you don't have to share them. We get 100% of that. You don't send it off to the state and take back whatever they give you. We get all of that. So that's a great thing. But you don't want to hit the law of diminishing returns because people do look. They say, oh, this hotel room was $300. Wait a minute, it was $350. Wait a minute, what happened to this? They're going to be counting dollars. Everybody is counting every penny right now when they come to town. And you can't just keep putting tax on top of tax, fee on top of fee, and think that there is nothing going to come of that there's no impact from that. There is. And when you make that decision, you got to remember all those things. So that will be part of the information I'm sure that the hotels and myself will get out there for you to consider.
Thanks, John. Jeff?
Well, let's be clear what was being proposed. And actually, I'll give the amended version of what was being proposed. What was being proposed, that it would be put before you, the voters. Do you want to give your city council authorization to raise the utility user tax, or bed tax, 1%? 1%. They took the right for you to decide away. Those council members who set up this false argument that we were going to drive people from the city by this 1% of increased tax on the thing that we get the most of. Let's be clear, sales tax in the downtown, we get 1 cent out of $1. We're talking about a revenue generator for the city, and I even would go a step further and say that it would be an incentive for people to stay in our city. If you put on the bill 1% of your money is going to support local police and fire, they would do it in a heartbeat. So, it's the kind of rhetoric that we have to get away from. The reality is, if we're going to grow our economy, we know we have hotels going in here, we know people want to stay here, we have to make this a place that people want to visit, and we got to make sure those hotels, which are going to be, nice, are hotels that people want to stay in, and they will pay it. And I have to tell you, Manhattan Beach has had the same authorization on the books for years and haven't increased it. It gives the council the leeway to generate the revenue you need to run your city.
Thanks, Jeff.